Well, hello, I'm David Freeman with Is That Really in the Bible? I am amazed at the people who do not believe in the literal return of Jesus Christ to this earth. I guess they believe in sort of like maybe a rapture, a near flyby or flyover, but they don't actually believe that Christ is going to return to this earth. Now, there is nothing more fundamental than the teaching of Jesus Christ returning as King of Kings and Lord of Lords to rule with a rod of iron on this earth. Why? Because earth is a mess. That's where all the people are at. That's where we're at. And we've screwed things up big time. Now, why are the churches of this world so confused about this subject? The Bible reveals in graphic details the second coming of Jesus Christ to this earth to set up His kingdom. And really, what I'm talking about today is why the world will not end. You know, there's a lot of people who believe that the world is just going to get, worse and worse and worse, and it is that. Believe me, it's going to get worse and worse, but that the world eventually is just going to end. And the Feast of Trumpets, which basically symbolizes the return of Jesus Christ to this earth, and the literal return of Christ to this earth explains why the world is not going to end. Actually, what's going to happen is God is going to usher in a new form of government called the kingdom of God on this earth. Well, let's take a look at this verse here in Zechariah 14 and verse 1. It says, "Behold, the day of the Lord comes, and thy spoil shall be divided in the midst of thee." Now, this little reference in the Old Testament about the day of the Lord is a reference to the return of Jesus Christ. It's described in the book of Revelation as the Lord's day, or the day of the Lord. You read the book of Revelation and you soon realize, okay, this is talking about a monumental event of Christ returning to this earth, referred to in the book of Revelation as the Lord's Day. No. This is the Lord's Day is not some Sunday go-to-meeting service that your church is having where people are throwing a few coins and dollar bills in the offering plate. That's not what I'm talking about. That is not what the Lord's Day is all about. The Lord's Day mentioned in Revelation is about the day of the Lord. It's referred to here in Zechariah as the day of the Lord. Let's continue on in verse 4. It says, "And his feet shall stand in that day upon the Mount of Olives, which is before Jerusalem on the east. And the Mount of Olives shall cleave in the midst thereof toward the east and toward the west. And there shall be a very great valley, and half of the mountain shall move toward the north and half of it toward the south." So where is the Mount of Olives? Now, first of all, it says his feet shall stand in that day upon the Mount of Olives. Now, where is that? Can't hear you. Well, it's on planet Earth, okay? And so this is talking about the literal return where Christ's feet are on this earth. This is not a low flyover of saints being gathered in a rapture. That's not what this is talking about. Acts 1 and verse 9 says this. It said, "And when he had spoken these things, while they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight." Now here, Jesus is about to ascend back to the heavens. He's on earth, and they watch him go up, and out of sight. All right, notice verse 10. "And while they looked steadfast toward heaven as he went up, behold, two men stood by them in white apparel, which also said, You men of Galilee, why stand ye gazing up into the heavens? This same Jesus, which is taken up from you into heaven, shall so come in like manner as you have seen him go into heaven." Okay, Christ was standing on this earth when he left, and he's coming back to this earth to stand on it and to rule it with a rod of iron. I mean, there's no misunderstanding this, is it? No, there's not. The only reason...
Check us out on the web at isthatreallyinthebible.com.